What's going on, you guys? This is New York Adventure in 1994 here, and today's Monday, March 22nd, 2021. And I was gonna do a video about COVID pandemic reaching its first anniversary of when we got hit with the coronavirus, but I kind of want to do this video first of. Hold on, let the plane pass. Plane's passing, hold on. As I was saying, I want to do this video first of when me and my family drove to Disney for the first time. All the way back in March of 2013. Today's actually the 8th anniversary of me doing that. Yep. The reason why we drove down there in spring to celebrate Easter is because the flights are like so expensive. So we had to like drive down there, and the flights were just ridiculous. They were like $480, even just JetBlue. Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. But the drive was kind of fun while it lasted. Yeah, I was back in 6th grade when we drove down there. And it was spring break in 2013. And I left on March 22nd and came back March 30th. So I left on a Friday and came back on a Saturday. And it was actually Good Friday when I started the drive back. And I arrived home on Saturday. So it all starts out back in September 2012. We were like booking the trip, and we planned to drive down there. In March, and we wanted to see all all the Easter stuff. And I'm gonna fast forward to the day of, like, after Hurricane Sandy and all that stuff. On March 22nd, 2013, we got up at like 3:30 in the morning. And we left the house at like 4 a.m. And we left the Long Island about like 4:20. And we like got into Jersey about like close to 5. And at like 5:30 we made our first rest stop in Jersey. And we were on Interstate 95. We actually rented a van, believe it or not, to go down there. We rented out a 2013 Dodge Grand Caravan. It was white, just like our old vehicle. But we had the older model from like 1997. But this was 2013. It looked really nice. It looked really modern and cutting edged. So we had breakfast at our first rest stop, and the sun was starting to come up. We left that rest stop about like 6:30. and we started putting on movies because overhead there was like an overhead DVD player where where the passengers get to watch movies from overhead. It was amazing. Like, you insert the disc with the jukeboxes. Like, the driver inserts the disc and the movie comes up. That's most cars nowadays. It was amazing. My dad was able to tell whether the menu came up and stuff, even though he was driving. Or sometimes my mom would do it. So we were in Jersey, we were in a little bit of Pennsylvania, but we did not pass by Philly. And we were in Delaware, then we got into Maryland. Then once we were in Virginia, we stopped at a Cracker Barrel. That was actually my first time in Cracker Barrel, but I didn't even know the name. And then we were in North Carolina, and by the time we were in South Carolina, we got to see south of the border. We actually stopped there, and we went inside a souvenir shop. And after several hours, we finally arrived in Georgia. And we stopped in Savannah. And we stayed at a hotel, but by 5:30 in the morning, I get woken up by a train horn. It like scared the living heck out of me. I was not able to go back to sleep whatsoever. And by 6:30, we just had breakfast and then just got back on the road as the sun was coming up. It was like 7 when the sun was coming up. But when I got woken up and when we had breakfast, it was still pitch black out. We were like in Georgia already. We were like really close to the train tracks. I saw on Google Maps that we were. There was like a track behind the bushes. I mean, this was actually before I started getting woken up by EAS test and stuff. Like the emergency alert system test. In my area, they go off about like 3 in the morning on a weekly basis. Sometimes I miss them, sometimes I wake up and catch the action. So we spent another 2.5 hours in Georgia, and then, by the way, it was Saturday when we got up, March 23rd. We were finally in Florida by 9 a.m. and we went all the way down to Orlando, and we were in Disney. We actually got to drive past SeaWorld. And we were actually on Interstate 4 too. We stayed at the Animal Kingdom Lodge for the next week. And day 1 we went to Magic Kingdom. And then day 2 we went to Epcot. March 24th. March 25th we went to Animal Kingdom. And then Downtown Disney, which is now Disney Springs. And then Tuesday we went to Hollywood Studios, and Wednesday we went back to Magic Kingdom, and then Thursday we went to Epcot, and then Friday, March 29, 2013, on Good Friday we head home. But we were in South Carolina for a very long time. we went to South Carolina about like 2 o'clock, and we didn't get out until like 6, because we had to like stop for the bathroom and we had breakfast for dinner at like some restaurant, like as a rest stop. The sun was setting by the time we got to North Carolina, and we only stopped in Virginia. In the Star of Virginia, and then my dad gets woken up by another train, coincidentally. But we get back on the road the next morning. It's Holy Saturday, March 30th, 2013. We're on the road again, and after Virginia, we passed by Washington, D.C. for our first time. And then Baltimore, and then Maryland, and then we were in Delaware, and then we were in Jersey. And then we were in New York. But it was about like 4 in the afternoon already. And we didn't get back to Long Island until almost 5. And we got like welcome home gifts and stuff. And then the next morning, March 31st, 2013, on that Sunday, it was Easter. It was finally Easter. We got back from Disney and we woke up the Easter morning. But my parents had to get up early because they had to drive the van back, which is the rental, back to JFK Airport, because we rented that van out from JFK. So they had to drive it back to Kennedy. And we just enjoyed, and we were just as a family on Easter. I had fun with my family on Easter. And when I got back to school, it was April. So that was a great trip to Disney, and I still remember it as if it was yesterday. But I was just in 6th grade, with only 3 months left of my 2012 and 2013 school year, which I pretty much didn't like because we got hurricane stuff, and 6th grade pretty much bored me in school. I wasn't really interested in 6th grade. It got even better when I was in 7th. So I guess that's it. That was a great trip, and I guess that's it. Bye.